Okay, good day everybody. It's still here for the Daily Market Pulse. This is for Monday, June 16, 2014. Stocks higher mildly, but in mixed volume, not VIX volume, but mixed volume. We do have our distribution days finally posted and placed, two for the S&P, one for the Nasdaq. And unfortunately, the Dow Jones once again not posting anything as of yet while I record this, but it is slightly higher. So essentially, we're seeing a little bit of a bounce at the polarity. There's the S&P bouncing slightly as well. So everything seems to be holding the window. The pivot and the 20-day moving average, essentially near 1920, 1925 on the S&P. Nasdaq holding the 4,300 window, the 8 moving average, and the well, it's not really. It's essentially the pivot area as well from the evening star formation. So all of that seems to be good and cool. TSX higher once again following a rising window. I don't think that's actually correct. That doesn't look right. There it is. That's better. So another push higher after a slight pause at that level. Everything looks good there. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Kind of just declining near support 185 or 108.50. Let's go look at the euro. Euro still holding support for now off the lower shadow. That looks good. Anything lower than these levels of 135 takes you much lower. Treasuries are holding within the channel, holding at the 50 with a new high form today and a higher close. But there's a polarity essentially, or at least what I think a target is right across 136 to 137. And we'll see if that's the case. It's holding at the flat 20 above the rising 8 and a rising 50. So it's in a range still, 135 to 136 remaining for now. Japanese yen came up, broke out. We were looking for some kind of a pullback, but ultimately the target would be higher. It would pull back into the 50 and the 8 moving average, which is fine. I would imagine this will hold maybe sideways and then bounce back toward 99 plus once again. Gold went higher, at least temporarily, and then faded. That's Friday's candle. It went actually into 1283 or 1284 and then retraced back down to the low 1270s once again. There it is. So that's expected. Hit the target, range of resistance. The 20 is still declining. The 8 hasn't crossed over yet. The 50 is flat to declining. So the trend's not real strong. Plus hit the trend line and the 50-day moving average, etc., etc. So plenty of resistance here. It's overbought. Look for a pullback toward the 8 moving average. Before maybe a resumption to the upside. Silver pretty much did the exact same thing. Was above the 50 on 2 consecutive closes and then went higher into almost 20 and then reversed again back toward the 50 and possibly midway between the 50 and the 20. That's where I think where it's heading. Looking for support down there near the 8 moving average. Ultimately, once the 8 moving average rises. And then crude is going sideways. The blue lines you see are the measured moves. Upside met exactly right. Downside was once looking for a move back toward 105 to 104.50 on the downside after these couple of consecutive Friday, Monday candles here. So that's the downside. We're looking for a negative move on the crude contracts. There's a consolidation of the window and the 8 moving average on the small caps IWM, looking like it's holding reasonably well here. It could drop to 114, but right now I think this is holding for at least for now, it appears. And the VIX popped mildly below the 50, breaking out of that original downtrend for the last month and a half. And that's about it. There's not much more room. There's a little bit of room above into 1350 maybe, but outside of that, it's almost overbought. Looking for anything to kind of slow down, pause here, and possibly drop.